You can't see me. You can't see me hands because it's stupid green screen. 5-0. Just clear my throat. Match reaction. Match reaction, people. Arsenal 5, Leeds 0. And yeah, what am I gonna say, bruv? People, please hit that like button and subscribe and share if you are new. Game of definitely two halves. Definitely two halves. The young academy boys light up the second half. Lovely, lovely, jubbly. Game which when you look at it, and let's get the team up. As you can see, 5-0 to the Arsenal. And obviously we have, whoops, what was that? What's just dropped and made a load of noise? Oh, something just dropped off the fridge. Don't worry about that. A lot of squeaking going on behind, but who cares? 5-0 to the Arsenal. And as you can see, Raya started in goal, Timber at right back, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Odegaard, Zubamendi, Rice, Madueke on the left. I told you, people. I told you that this guy will start. Martinelli, Trossard, who's just got a new deal. Martinelli looks like he's down the pecking order. And Gokeres up front and Saka on the right. We win this game 5-0, and it definitely was a game of two halves. Not going to lie, people. When you kind of look, you know, how we played, again, it was that whole boring, very slow, pragmatic style football. You know, they unveil Eze at the ground. There should be a buzz and everything, and you're thinking, come on now, guys, let's come out the traps and let's put Leeds to the sword. They've just come up from, they've just come up from the Championship, and we should be putting this side away. You know, it took till 36 minutes or so. I think it was 36 minutes or 34 minutes. From set piece, ole. You know, Declan Rice putting a corner in and Timber gliding it off at the back post and past the keeper. And we make it 1-0 to the Arsenal. And that was after 34 minutes. Up until that, it was just literally side to side, backwards. I think, make something happen. Zubamendi with his back facing the goal, basically, people. When he's facing the goal and receiving the ball, them guys are not going to give you no chances. They're not going to give you no time on the ball. And he looked a little bit under pressure. He had an okay game. Stephanie was better in the second half. But that first 30 minutes or so, do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, we're 30 odd minutes in and we have not opened them up with not had a shot on goal, really, to be honest. Rare to make a point blank save from a set piece from the Leeds. I can't remember who headed the ball. I can't remember who the player was that headed the ball. Let me just have a quick look who it was. I believe it was. Let me find the player. I think. Well, I don't know if it was I'm not too sure if it was a defender. I think it was Strawjic. If that's how you pronounce his name. Strujijk. Strojik with a sort of point blank header. We should have been picking him up, but Raya puts it over the bar, and you're thinking, come on, Arsenal now. There's a little bit of a scare there, a little bit of a warning, but you know, they didn't. Other than that, they didn't really do anything. They didn't really hurt us. You know, the defenders in Calafiori, who was playing at left back, Timber right back, obviously, and Saliba and Gabriel didn't really have much to do in terms of defending. You know what I'm trying to say? You know, they had Dante on the, the right hand side, and James on the right, sorry, Conte on the left hand side, James on the right hand side. So the threat was probably going to come from there. Them trying to hit us on the break. Listen, we was controlling the game, slow, progressive football, controlling the game, and like you're thinking, come on, we need something to happen. We need something to happen, people. We need something to happen. And with the 45 minutes gone, and then we go into injury time. And I think on the 45+1, a lovely goal by Saka, who, listen, was very quiet, very, very, very quiet in that first half. Very, very quiet in that first half. But you know what he does when he has that chance, and this time he didn't have to cut in and score it on his left foot. He actually banged it with his right. I think it was with his right foot, if my memory serves me right. Past the goalkeeper, right in the top left-hand corner. You know what I mean? And the way that the goal was from the pressing of Declan Rice, and with even when Murray coming on, making a difference. The game sped up a bit quicker when he come on. You know what I mean? He picked up the ball. He kind of lost it. Declan was calling for the ball, played it to him. He sort of lost it, and then Declan won it back, played it out to, I think it was Zubimendi, and then Zubimendi played it to Timber, and then you see Saka making an inside run and Timber playing it sort of on the outside for him to run onto, and he hits it first time, lovely jubbly. We make it 2-0, and then we go in at half time at 2-0. I'm thinking now we've got to come out now. Second half, we need to come out second half, and we need to, do something, really, because obviously with, Odegaard going off and Ethan Wanmaria coming on, do you know what I mean? For me, it made a difference. Odegaard, again, holding on the ball too long. There was one time where he played a wrong pass, and it's just like the same old. He went down on his shoulder, couldn't continue, came off, I think, in the 38th minute or something like that. I think that's when Ethan Wanmaria came on. I think it was in the 38th minute, because he just couldn't continue. I don't know whether he popped his shoulder or what. He tried to continue, but he had to eventually come on, and obviously Ethan came on. Now, Ethan looked lively. There's a couple of times where he's going to take time because he's not getting the game time. There was a couple of wayward passes, but there, what I liked about him was that he was feeding the left-hand side. So when he picked up that ball centrally or coming deep for it, first thing was to look and play out to the left. If it was Trossard or if it was Noddy Madueke. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I liked about Ethan. Do you know what I mean? Turning on the half turn, picking up the ball and driving into the space, and with his low center of gravity. And if it wasn't for him, driving into the box in the injury time, we probably wouldn't have got that goal. Obviously he lost it, but Declan Rice managed to press, get it back. As they play it out to Zubimendi. Zubimendi plays it to Timber, and lovely ball to Saka, and he bangs it, as I said, to make it 2-0. So we go in at half time, 2-0 up, and as I said, we needed to come out second half. And listen, we needed it to happen, guys. And this man here, Victor Gyökeres. Listen, it was tough going. It's tough. I'm glad he got the 90 minutes. I am glad he got the 90 minutes because he needed to get his match fitness up. He was puffing in the last game against Man United, you know what I mean? So it was good to see him get 90 minutes under the belt. But what a goal. What a goal. Picking up the ball from Calafiori. He says he likes to pick up the ball where it's played behind him, and you know what I mean, he picks it up, runs that left channel, cuts in, makes the goal for himself. Takes on two Leeds players, cuts in and bangs it with his right foot. Lovely, making it 3-0. And at this point, you're thinking, come on now, man. The atmosphere started to rise in at the Emirates. The noise levels went up because, in that first half, it was quite quiet. Only until, the Timber goal and then obviously the Saka goal where it kind of lifted. But it was the same old, same old. That's what I'm saying. When these young guys came on, these young Canterbury boys come on, they made a difference. We're going to talk about Matt Downham, what a player he is. But let's just concentrate on Victor for a moment. So Victor Gyökeres, making it 3-0. Do you know what I mean? And I said he worked his socks off, holding up the play. He was obviously having a battle as usual with those defenders. And he's going to come up across even tougher defenders. I mean, last week you saw it against the Lit. You know what I mean? But he's going to come up against tougher defenders. But he needs to get his match fitness up. He said in his post-match that he's really glad that he's got this 90 minutes under his belt. And it will come once, he has the players around him, the likes of Eze, the likes of Ethan, feeding him. Do you know what I mean? Especially Eze, because you see what Eze can do. And once he, comes in on that left 8 or playing in that 10 now that Odegaard might be out. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. It could be Ethan starting at Liverpool, which is going to be obviously a tough game. Going away to Liverpool will be tough. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But listen, we've got 2 clean sheets. Beating Man United last week 1-0 and putting 5 past Leeds today. So, it helps us with our goal difference, and we sit top of the league with Tottenham sitting behind us, who, obviously went to the Etihad today and beat them 2-0. So it was important that we put down a marker, which we did, because at first, as I looking at those first 30 odd minutes, I'm thinking, what's going on? We can't play like this. I said it's not sustainable. I said it last week. I keep saying it's not sustainable. Arteta needs to allow these guys to express themselves. He talked about, even Arteta talked about the likes of Eze, and that the fact that this guy can express himself and he can do some things, with that ball. But I'm just hoping that you, Arteta, don't coach this out of them, the talent out of them. The same with Max Downham, same with Ethan Wenweri. Do you know what I mean? You can't afford, for you to be doing this. You'll have to allow these guys to play. Your system is very robotic, systematic, and it doesn't allow the players. I think we're probably, in terms of playing the ball out from the back, one of the slowest how we progress up the field, and teams are able to get back in their positions. And it's that thing of trying to then break down those low blocks, those mid blocks. But I think having Eze in the side now, another option, he can definitely, deal with those low blocks and those mid blocks. So he's absolutely a fantastic addition. It was just great to see him being, shown to the crowd. It was fantastic. And I said that earlier on, it was great to see him. He's gone back. He's come home wearing that number 10 shirt. So really are pleased for him. So we're going to see what happens next week when we go away to Liverpool's. As I said, it's going to be a really, really tough time. So just going into it. So, yeah, so with, Victor Gyökeres getting that 3rd goal, and then we have another set piece. And this was I think it was in the 56th minute, when Timber again causing mayhem in that box. Again, Declan Rice putting it on the money. Calafiori manages to pass it somehow in that mayhem in the penalty box, and Timber just sticks his foot out and it goes into the top of the net. So again, 4-0. Absolutely fantastic. But you know what? Saying all of that, it was marred. With Saka going down injured. He had to come off in the 53rd minute. And this just like not a sight that you want to see. Picking up an hamstring by looks of it, you can see him mouthing to Mikel Arteta that his hamstring. How bad it is, Mikel Arteta again said in his post-match that it's not looking good. We don't know how long he's going to be out for, but it's not on the right leg, it's on the left. But we've been saying this, guys. We've been saying this for a long time that, these players, we're not even got to Christmas yet. And we've got how many players? Ben White out. Now Martin Odegaard out. Norgard out. Do you know what I mean? Havertz out. Jesus out. 5-6 players out. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is worrying because, as I say, this is down to Arteta, the way he runs these guys into the ground. And even watching the game, I was on the phone to a couple of mates, on a chat called Arsenal Debate, and I was saying that he just doesn't look right. He just wasn't running right. And when he has those quick bursts of, turning and quick bursts of speed to try and, get past his players. And when you saw that today, he made the run, straight away he pulled up. And you could see him just shaking his head and holding his head and thinking, nah. So I don't know the extent of it. Obviously, they're going to scan it, do a scan, I think, tomorrow. Same with Martin Odegaard with the shoulder. They're going to do a scan on it, so we won't know the extent of the injury. But I'm just hoping he's just tweaked it and that he'll be out for short term as opposed to a long term. We will miss him on that right hand side. But what you then saw was him coming off, and him. I think he came off for Leandro Trossard. But what he did was then he moved Noddy Madueke over onto the right hand side, which I felt Noddy Madueke played a lot better over that side than he did on the left hand side. I think he just looked a little bit awkward with the ball on the left hand side, and he was playing as a natural left winger because he shoots with his left foot, but he looked a little bit touch better on the right hand side. Do you know what I mean? Done a couple of step overs on both sides, but he looked to me a lot better on the right hand side. So he moves over to the right hand side. Trossard then comes on and fills in that left hand side. You're thinking, where's Martinelli? Is he going to have a future at Arsenal? This is the question. Is he going to have a future at Arsenal? He now looks like he's down the pecking order because the fact that he's moved Noddy across, started him on the left, then he brings on Trossard. Do you know what I'm saying? Then, I think after the 64th minute, he brings on Max Downham. And I'll tell you, what a player this guy's going to be. And knowing who Max Downham is, 15 years, 235 days, is the second youngest player to make his Premier League debut against his teammate. I think if you look at it, I think what's the name was 115 years and 150 odd days. I think that was what it was for Ethan Manreri. So I think that was against Brentford. But he comes on, and you just saw the difference in terms of how he took on the players. There might have been 1-2 men on him, but he still took them on. And yet again, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to handle him. And you saw when the penalty was conceded against him, taking on his man, and the Leeds player steps on his toe. At first, somebody was saying that he dived. He didn't dive. If you look carefully, he stepped on his toe, and which caused him to go over. What a player this guy is going to be. And obviously, Arteta has to use him wisely. Do you know what I'm saying? When he come on, he looked lively, trying a little bit too much. Obviously, playing in front of 60+ thousand, debut in terms of in the Premier League. Fantastic. But he makes problems. He causes problems. And when I say makes problems, I say good problems, because he will run at the defense. He can drop a shoulder. He both feet. Obviously, he's left-footed, but he can use that right foot as well, causing chaos over on that right hand side. Now, obviously, you can then look there and say, hang on a minute, you've got Noddy Madueke, and now you've got Downham. Two players that can come in and cover for Saka. Now, next week when they go to Liverpool, the thing is that they might, I don't know, they could end up starting Noddy Madueke on the left, who plays on the right, or start Noddy Madueke on the right, should I say, and then who starts on left? Does he play Trossard? Does he play Ethan? I know Eze is going to be, should be in the side and should be in the squad. Does Eze start? This is the big questions we ask. He's played enough football, so he's going to be okay in terms of match fitness. I'd love to see him in the side. I mean, can you imagine Gokha is up front? Then you've got Ethan Manreri, say, on the right. Yeah, you've got or Ethan in the 10, Dalman on the right. Now, I'd love that to happen, and probably say a Trossard, do you know what I mean, on that left-hand side. Obviously, Ethan in there as well. So, when you look at that attacking lineup there, that can trouble a lot of Premier League sides. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's just that Arteta has allowed his players to play with a bit more freedom, especially when we're getting the ball from back to front. We need to move it a lot quicker so that we catch, defenses out, we catch the midfield out. To say we're far too easy to play against, we're far too predictable. And that's why teams are able to set up in that mid block or in that low block, and then it's about us breaking them down. But hopefully we brought a player in Eze that can do that and cause some problems. And I'm sure that he will definitely be able to lay on some balls, through balls for Gyökeres. You know what I mean? Because I think that's important. And I'm glad that Gyökeres has now come to the mark, got a goal from open play, and what a penalty. Max getting the penalty and Gokares just banging it, as you say, net buster. Absolute confident as you will. Because when I saw Declan Rice with the ball in his hand, I'm thinking, is Declan going to take it? But obviously, resuming the captain's responsibility, he hands the ball to Gokares. And I love the celebration after when he comes across, does that again. But this time he does an air flick, because other people have been having a go at him last week. People say he had more touches of his hair than he did of the ball. So he's kind of made a point by saying, all right, then, I've scored 2 goals, I'm off the mark. And he will score goals. Victor Gokares will score goals as long as he gets the service. Sometimes you're gonna have to create for himself, but you know, now that we've got Eze in the side, I'm really looking forward to how these guys will link up. But it's just a shame that Saka now is out. We don't know how long it's going to be. We'll probably hear some news tomorrow. We'll probably hear some news tomorrow, and I'm just hoping it's not long term. But what I would say is that yes, our young academy boys have come on and they've lit up the place. If anybody know what I'm talking about, they've lit up the place, or what shall I say, they've lit up the place, and have done really well, especially Max Downham, done really well. I'm glad for Victor Gokares, but I've got to give them the man of match to this guy here. If I can point there, there he is. There he is. You see that guy there? There, him. Mr. Urian Timber, 2 goals and an assist, and defended really well. He kept Gonte quiet over that side. Didn't really have much to do, but going forward, do you know what I mean? Linking up, setting up Saka for the goal. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I think he got, was it? I think it was 2 goals and 1 assist. Let me just confirm that. Is it 2 goals? Let's just double check that. So if I go back here, overview, it's better if I look at overview. I'm just looking at One Football. Big up to One Football. So let's look. So Calafiori gets 2 assists. Urian Timber, yeah. So Urian Timber gets the assist for Saka. So yeah, 2 goals and 1 assist. Definitely getting that man of the match. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm just really pleased. I'm just really pleased about the second half, especially the second half. A very professional, very professional in the way we dealt with him in the second half. First half, first 30 odd minutes, didn't like it. Football was too slow, too pragmatic. Just hope that when we go to Liverpool, I just get this feeling that we're going to do the same thing. Now it's whether, you know, we sit back and try and counter them, or do we play the, you know, possession-based football, control football, and then try and maybe get a set piece to beat this Liverpool side. They're going to be tough to beat. Not going to lie. Listen, Frimpong is out for them. He's not going to be back. He's got an hamstring problem, so he's not going to be back until after the international. So, you know, with Downham running at what's his name, Kirkers, we might have some joy down at that side. We'll see what happens. But listen, it's a great win, fantastic win, winning 5-0. Arsenal 5, Leeds 0. And well done to the young academy boys for lighting up the second half. People, hit that like button, subscribe and share if you're new. And I'll see you on the next match reaction. Take care and God bless.